And actually, believe it or not, we started this June 1st, and some people are up to, there's a bunch of people who are up to about 15 right now. So you can get 2 stamps if you come tonight, Rochester, tomorrow night in Buffalo. And
or I could just steal the stamp. I could just steal the stamp.
Tonight's
That's true.
Tonight's
That's against the law.
That's, yeah, we don't. What do you mean steal the stamp? What are you advocating here? You want to ruin our group now.
We thought you were our friend.
I am your friend. And you guys also, I remember reading from the, I'm not a big reader. In fact, the last book I read was Count of Monte Cristo back like 10 years ago. And was it sophomore year in high school?
The classic comics version or something. Right? No.
They do have the real, the shortened book of it.
Little
But I
big
read all 900 pages of that book. But anyways, you guys, you let the fans name the second album, right?
We tried to let them.
Oh,
we
you mean
gave them every chance.
They didn't?
We had thousands of people send in suggestions, and for that, we gave them a free tape, which had everyone who made the suggestion got a tape with advance copies of a few of the songs, a rare bit that only they will ever hear.
Welsh rare bit.
But everyone suggested like Oxy, Moxy, Troxy, and stuff like that. We said, no,
Fruvalicious.
that's not.
Basically, our fans are idiots. That's what it comes down to. A bunch of idiots, and we got real pissed off and said, forget it. We're not going to use any of these names. We're going to come up with our own name.
A really special name, a sparkling
Yeah,
name.
something
original.
that'll jump out and
Something
really
that'll impart
change the world.
sense of its substance.
So we called
upon
the album
mention.
Wood.
Because
Look outside. I mean, you got the hills, the rolling hills, and the trees standing straight up, and there's the wood.
We made it down in the, as we were saying, we made it down in the Catskills, and it's a beautiful wooded area, and this beautiful woodsy studio, and you know.
Look, there you can see on the screen now, the people watching on cable can
There's a
see
bit
some
of
of
the
the wood in the background
Cable
of the shot.
Channel 3.
There actually
Time
were
Warner box.
There were actually some great suggestions that we didn't.
What was the best that you didn't use?
My favorite was the Fisher Price Pain and Suffering Orphanage.
My favorite was Songs for Nat Gertler.
Yeah, that was
My favorite was Drop the Halibut or We'll Fire Rounds Across Your Bow.
Yeah, actually, Songs for Nat Gertler was suggested by a guy named Nat Gertler in San Diego. We thought that was pretty bold for a guy to write in, and we were almost gonna. What a great name too, Nat Gertler. Songs for Nat Gertler by Nat Gertler.
What was your favorite, Jan?
Wood.
Wood. And since I hold dominion over this small group of men, I decided what the name
Merum
would be.
ad merum.
I'm sorry, that's what the name is.
Ben?
Now, you guys currently, you're looking for a U.S. label deal?
Oh, not very,
No,
not
no,
very,
no.
not,
Hey,
not
things are
very
going
hard.
fine there. Things are going a-okay there.
You're happy with
There was
the?
a feeding frenzy.
No, you know what? We're signed. We are.
Did you recently
happy
get
to
signed?
say we are signed.
Dum
with a-
dum dum.
Yeah, with an American indie label, which means this new album, the third album that we're recording, it's going to come out in March. Will come out simultaneously in Canada and the United States, which is nice. We're still on Warner
In Canada. And
but actually, this deal is just being signed now, and we can't say the name for all those stupid reasons that we normally can't say the name.
off the air.
All right, the name is Tonka. We're signing with Tonka Records. You know that they make the little toy.
The record can't be crushed by an elephant.
That's right.
That's all.
Tonka Records.
Tonka Records.
Yeah.
No.
No, we're really happy. It's a company out of New York, and things are very very. We were talking earlier before we got on the air about how things are going for us in the States, and it's really nice. It's really exciting. We're not on MTV. We have you folks. I mean, this is a great station.
We need your videos. Is what we need.
We're glad that you guys are playing us, but we're not getting played that much on the radio down here. It's entirely a sort of a word of mouth grassroots thing, and there's 15, 20 cities now like Rochester in America where we're playing 500,000 seaters, and that's really exciting for us because it's a very organic growth. We look at bands like Fish,
Organic growth.
the way they've grown, and that's much more interesting to us than being imposed, sort of hit over the head every 2 minutes with a video on TV. So this is good for us, and this is a great station. Mm-hmm. And can I just
say that again?
We were driving.
Say it again.
This is a great station. We were driving in, and we had it tuned in, so that we could hear you say, "Where's Moxy Fruvous?" every few minutes, but because we were late, and we're sorry about that. But you know what? All yesterday, and I haven't heard this song for a year and a half easily. I was singing that Mood Swing song.
State of Independence.
That Chrissy Hynde sings.
Yep.
Literally. And then you played it today, and I thought that was very strange. I thought that was a cosmic sort of.
Definitely.
Well, you played back. You're playing. It's a great station.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We try and
If you weren't playing us, we wouldn't like you.
I read a review somewhere along the lines of you guys that someone said, part of the same family tree musically as Bare Naked Ladies. Are you guys friends with Bare Naked Ladies?
Yeah, we're friendly with them.
Yeah,
we've known
it's,
them a long time.
I think that's a good way of putting it. We're part of the same family tree. We get because there aren't many members of that family tree. We tend to get lumped with them quite a bit. I mean, we're all often paired with them, especially in Canada. But there are quite a few differences between the two bands, which tend to get over that fact tends to get overlooked in the media for sure. But yeah, they're a great band, and they do have some parallels with us.
We don't really sound like anything. That's why people have trouble. In the
Right,
States,
right.
we haven't been compared to Bare Naked Ladies.
I think
almost at all.
alternative folk is what the last
A lot of people say they might be giants down here, but
yeah,
that's
a little
only
bit.
because probably those guys don't really sound like anything either. They're just
Right. What do you guys? Do you say alternative folk? Is that what? How do you guys classify
that's
that?
probably the
Yeah, that
closest
pretty
thing.
much sums it up.
Either that or Eagles cover band. We sometimes call ourselves Eagles cover band.
When we call ourselves that, we get more people in. Like
Yeah.
it draws a lot of people. So.
Sweet talking wine.
You want to play another one?
Can we?
We're gonna do that.
Okay. How about BJ Don't Cry?
BJ don't cry.
This intro will work for that
Just
song.
cracked into that.
This is Moxy Fruvous live on WBER.
So we actually normally play instruments, but this is the acoustic. This is unplugged. Here we go. Here we go.
From the Fruvous quill comes a sorry tale of love and ill. And Romeo from the balcony too high ended up with second bell. And she loved him triplicate, left his heart a blank to fill in, lost his faith immaculate when Cupid became a villain.
BJ don't cry no more. Found out what his heart was beating for. Says he takes it much too hard. Give my regards to BJ.
In a fit of rage, she tore down all her gifts and promises. Sick and tired of hearing about those Harry, Dick, and Thomases. Banished him for life, he did right then and there from the premises. Once holy virgin queen, now on the scene, his nemesis.
BJ don't cry no more. Found out what his heart was beating for. Says he takes it much too hard. Give my regards to BJ.
He thought about his life, his heart began to rush. He buried the crown, found a hookah and a brush. Hey, BJ paints town. Whopper! La 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 la. La 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 la. Now on the street, our wounded soul is looking quite gregarious. Heart of tin has shed his skin. But what? Giving it a hefty burial. With
Logic.
with reason as with science, actuarial rally round. Through his flag, burnt the kitchen, raised the aerial.
BJ don't cry. Never had a girl to call his own. Found out what his heart strayed too far from heart and home. Says he takes it much too hard. Give my regards to BJ. Turn it over, little man.
Took a trip,
BJ,
BJ's on a train, far, far away. He'll be back again one rainy day.
BJ don't cry no more. BJ don't cry no more.
So there we have a story lived in person, told by proxy, about a mild-mannered mannequin every Thursday hit the Roxy. Till there is no reflection, showed him his orthodoxy. Now he hikes the Himalayas, stuffs his letters full
BJ
of
don't
moxie.
cry. Had a girl to call his own. Found out what his heart straight too far from heart and home. Says he takes it much too hard. Give my regards to BJ. He says he takes it much too hard. Give my regards to BJ.
And now he's swinging in the yard. He's the junior bard with the Juilliard PJ.
90.5 FM WBER. What a song! You guys, that was great.
Thanks, man.
Moxy Fruvous live in our WBER studios and live on Time Warner Cable Channel 3. Another first for us in Rochester. And Moxy Fruvous in town tonight at the Water Street Music Hall with Ethel and I'm going to get it right. Tori Cassis.
That's right.
And that's one of my favorites from Bargainville. And
Cool.
my father's too. My father's a big Canadian freak.
Oh, cool.
Not that you Canadians are freaks.
There's a lot of.
But he's, when I was younger, I used to sit through, static CBC radio all the time.
Cool.
And
That was before we got the actual transmitter up, probably, yeah.
It was wires. You'd have to get a wire to your house.
boy, but now there's a better antenna.
Is your
so-
dad coming to the show?
Oh yeah, he'll
Oh,
be
is he
there.
really?
Of course, yeah.
Well, those of you who come to the show tonight will be introduced to Joe's dad.
Really big round of applause.
He's a
Small.
huge Moxy
Joe's
fan.
dad.
He calls you Moxy.
Joe's dad.
Joe's dad. Joe's dad. Joe's dad. Joe's dad. Joe's.
It's
Joe's
where
dad.
Joe learned his
Joe's
stuff.
dad.
Where he
Joe's
learned
dad.
the tricks.
Joe's
Joe
dad.
became a
Joe's
Canadian
dad.
freak too. All
Joe's
thanks
dad.
to
Joe's dad. Joe's dad.
Joe's dad.
Joe's dad.
Joe dad.
Joe's dad.
Joe's dad.
Joe's dad.
See him tonight at Water Street.
Joe's dad.
He's gonna appreciate that tonight.
Joe's dad's a little concerned
Does he have a
about
name?
Joe's.
Actually, we should-
Jerry.
Jerry. It's Jerry.
Joe's dad.
Joe's dad.
Now I was.
Jerry had a boy named Joe.
I wonder, you guys. There's a new basketball team in Toronto, the Raptors. Are you guys? I mean, I know everyone in Toronto's hockey fan. Is basketball? You guys basketball fans or newly?
Dave, you field
I
this
live with
one.
someone who works for the Raptors.
Oh,
Yeah. He's
Stoudemire?
He's a very tall, dark man. No, I live with somebody who works in the office of the
Okay.
Raptors, so I've been out to a couple of games, and I must say I do really enjoy the game, particularly the little furry animals, creatures they have doing the gymnastic stuff. I'm a big basketball fan. I'm
I
nutty,
find
I'm
that
silly.
basketball is a very interesting.
I love it particularly
We in
when they go
Canada
to
not-
put the ball through the hoop. That's
because they're very
thrilling for me.
tall. It's a skyrocketingly
No,
tall.
it's starting to catch on up there, B-ball is.
Well, look at the size of Dave's head! Oh, for you out in Radio Land, they got a big monitor here, and we saw
Frightening.
Dave's head about, well, it's like 8 feet
That's
tall.
bigger than it should be.
Dave's
that's for
head.
sure.
Actually, the controversy in today's Toronto papers, because we played in Hamilton last night, I picked up the Toronto is basketball. The controversy is whether basketball is taking over, because there's a lot of, because hockey is such a staple in
Right.
Toronto, obviously in Canada, but Toronto specifically. When the Blue Jays baseball became so popular, it was sort of considered a threat to the hockey establishment. And now that the Raptors are, I mean, it really is the hottest new thing in town. Everybody's, freaking out over basketball and everything. I mean, it's also another. Toronto has this sort of complex where it's a huge, amazing, cosmopolitan, beautiful city, but it thinks that to be credible, it needs to be considered like an American city.
Right.
The Americans have to actually see it on the World Series. So it's a big. So Toronto is happy to be part of the NBA. Is the line, and so the controversy is now, is basketball becoming more popular than hockey?
But the problem is with that one conceit of Torontonians is they don't realize that most Americans, when they hear the name, the word, the noun Toronto said in conversation, they don't hear it. It's like, yeah, and then 2 years in a row in the early 90s, the World Series was won by, and that was about just kind of completely
Yeah.
'cause I remember
static.
when I was up there, all I heard was Argos, Argos, Argos. I was trying to get it, who won the Notre Dame game, and it was like,
You won't be hearing Argos anymore up there.
did they lose?
Well, the CFL, the Canadian Football League, is almost in the garbage can.
Really?
One of those lawn chairs that you buy.
The
for
Americanization.
$9.99.
There is actually a serious. Canada is. There's a lot of people who argue, and I don't disagree, that Canada is increasingly becoming Americanized. Our sort of institutions are because of mass media, etc. I mean, we get all of our. No, all joking aside, most of our media, our television, etc., is from the States. Even though we have Canadian industry too in media, but and part and parcel of that is the growth of, say, the NBA, the interest in the NFL, the more teams in the NHL, and the Blue Jays in the baseball league means that something like the Canadian Football League, it just doesn't have the same cachet anymore, so it's dying a pitiful death.
You think you'll get an NFL team?
Hope not.
If the CFL dies, yeah, probably.
I think we will eventually. I think it's going that way. I mean, it's a city of 5 million people. It's a good market for.
It's such a great city.
We'd like to trade, actually, the Toronto Maple Leafs this year's version for the Rochester Americans.
I thought that the Leafs were doing all right. I
No,
got
they,
Sundin on my fantasy hockey league. So.
Hey,
Well, then, yeah.
what
that
kind
Leaf
of a
is doing
fantasy
fine.
hockey league is that?
Listen, but you know, anybody who, any Rochesterian, what do you call people from Rochester?
Chesters.
Rochesters?
Rochesterians.
Rochesterians? No, you don't. Really?
Am I correct?
Oh, sorry.
Rochesterians?
Any Rochesterian who wants a tour of Toronto will get one.
Next time
Moxy Fruvous, just come to Toronto and
next
start
time I'm
yelling my
there.
name.
Next
Yeah.
time I can get a record label
Look us up.
to pay for
Absolutely.
everything for me to come up there.
Bring Jerry, Joe.
Well, he's going there to the CBC 60th anniversary thing tomorrow.
Yeah,
Good
right.
man. Good
Guy
man.
likes
Wow.
good radio.
Honorary.
See? He's on the ball. Couple more quick questions. See, that I totally, disabandoned what I was going to talk about. So I wanted to get a couple of things in. A lot of the lyrics you guys do are politically surrounded.
Savvy.
Right. You guys are, want to talk about that at all? And you do something annually in Toronto, pro-choice benefit?
Yeah, we have an interest in some political issues. A couple of us are actually just plain political junkies and are concerned about things that are happening in our lives and in our country. And not unlike in the United States, women's reproductive rights has been an issue in Canada over the last few years. And so we've done last 4 years done a Fruvous and Friends pro-choice benefit. A few bands get together and we host it to raise money for the Ontario Coalition of Abortion Clinics, who call for basically the state to get its hands off women's bodies, type of thing, and there is no law of such. It's not criminalized in Canada, which is a very positive thing. And we're also just we're basically just interested in a humane society, and so we had the very fortunate this past Saturday we were in Toronto. There was a major demonstration, over 200,000 people against what we have called the Mike Harris government, which is kind of apropos for what's going on in the United States right now, because they're taking a lot of their policies from people like Newt Gingrich and from the far right sort of legislators in the United States, and this is not meeting a lot of happiness in Ontario, and so there was a major demonstration of students, teachers, nurses, labor groups, etc. We played at it, and Billy Bragg was there, and Bruce Coburn, and it was a very affirming event for people who care about the welfare state in Canada.
Very good.
There's a long-winded answer for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Seeing that the U.S. elections are next week, do you guys follow what's going on here? Any thoughts on what's going to happen on?
Oh, Dole. I mean, but beyond that,
I still crack up when I see him, that fall that he made. Did you guys?
It wasn't as good as Gerald Ford. He didn't have.
I think I was too young to see that.
Oh, you should see a replay of that. That's pretty.
The greatest hits of President Falls.
That's funny. He was walking off a plane. You never seen this? Literally, Gerald Ford. I mean, this is. Some people argue this is why he lost the. In '76 he lost to Carter, because he just looked so bumbling. He was walking off a plane and he flips. He just takes this terrible tumble, which really is kind of unfair. I mean, presidents are human, they shouldn't, but he just looked like an idiot,
Well, anyone looks like an idiot that falls.
Dole really looks like a very old man, and he didn't look so good when he fell either.
I get the biggest kick out of when Conan O'Brien. Have you ever seen the imitation?
Yeah, with the malice. Oh, I love that.
That is very funny.
And Clinton's some, skirt chasing Yahoo sort of guy.
Yeah.
Yeehaw! That's pretty funny.
Now, do you guys want to play one more? I know we weren't scheduled for 3. Do you want to play one more?
You know what, Joe? Actually, we are. You've been getting signals from our tour manager out there. We've got to get over there and sound check.
No, you're staying.
But this has been amazing. I mean, thanks.
Yeah,
Lyle,
No,
thanks
for
very
thank
much.
you. It's a shame, like I said before, that you guys haven't been here before. Anytime you want, you guys are here.
Anytime
That's
you want
great.
us, we'll be back.
Great.
Yeah.
And thank you to all the technical staff who helped out with this groundbreaking, technologically revolutionary procedure.
And guests of WBER-FM 90.5 stay at the wonderful downtown Rochester Hilton.
Where the
Joey's
grapefruit
wardrobe
is
done
always
by
fresh.
Big and tall.
Blim, blim, blim.
Thanks to the listeners for putting up with us, and we'll see you tonight.
Tonight, Water Street Music Hall,
and
along
tomorrow
with
night at,
Tori
Ogden Street in
Cassis
Buffalo.
and Ethel, and doors open at 9. Show a little bit after that. Tickets still available. All the usuals.
Actually, doors open at 8, I think.
8.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I've heard. But yeah, anyway.
So get there at 8 because you don't want to miss the doors. And we're gonna close with one final song from what are we gonna do here? From Bargainville.
Okay.
And this is video, Bargainville. Anything you guys want to say about this before we hear it?
Roll the track.
A ghoulish delight on the day after Halloween.
A ghoulish delight. And once again, thanks to Moxy Fruvous for stopping by. We will see everyone out at the show tonight. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, graphics. Moxy Fruvous.
Hey, Rock. Thanks for the great job.